Hello friends, in this video I'm going to show you the concept of operator overloading applied to the binary operator assignment operator. So simple assignment operator is considered to be a binary operator, and we will apply the operator overloading concept on a simple assignment operator. So with the help of a illustrative program, we are going to discuss this topic in this video. So let's get started with the illustrative program. So this is hash include iostream using namespace std. After that, I have taken a class whose name is example. Class example having only a one private data member in int a, and under the public section I have defined a constructor, a parameterized constructor of this format having one parameter, that is b, and b will be going to be assigned to the data member a, and this is the parameterized constructor. After that, I have taken an operator function. The topic of discussion is operator overloading in this example. So this is the main point to be noted. This is the operator function. This is one of the operator functions. This is another operator function. So I have defined two operator functions in this class example. That is, the operator is equal to being implemented in two ways, as and when they are required. So it can be considered to be a sort of function overloading as well, because function overloading is nothing but using the same function name for one or more for more than one functions, differing the argument list and the code of the function body. So this can be considered to be an operator overloading as well as function overloading mixed together. So this is a very nice and interesting example. So in this first operator function, I have written like this. The return type is example ampersand, that is, it is going to return an object of the example class, and operator is equal to, and there will be one explicit argument, because this is a binary operator, and binary operator takes only one explicit argument for the operator function, using the operator function as a member function. So we are using this operator function as a member function of the class example. So we are not implementing this operator is equal to function as the friend function. So we will require only one explicit argument to be supplied, and another argument is automatically or implicitly being passed as an argument to this operator function by the calling object of that particular operator function. So this is the logic which I have written over here. A is equal to e dot a. So what is this a? A is nothing but the data member pointed to by the object which is pointed to by this pointer. So this is the calling object's data member, the object which will call the function operator is equal to, which will invoke the function operator is equal to, that calling object has an a value, and that a value is being pointed to by this pointer. So this is the one that I am referring to here. So a is the calling object's data member a, that will be and e dot a is nothing but the data member a of the explicit argument which is passed with this function, and this e dot a will be, that is the data member of a, data member of e rather, will be assigned to the calling object's data member a in this manner. So this is the way the assignment takes place. Simple assignment operator is being employed over here, and after that I am going to return the return star this. So I am going to return the reference of the calling object of this operator function by the help of this pointer. So this is a concept, this is a program which encompasses many of the essential features of C++ programming, that is operator overloading, function overloading, and the use of this pointer. So it's a very interesting program to note it, friends. So, and next is the operator is equal to implemented in a different fashion, that is example ampersand operator is equal to, the argument list has been varied a little bit here. It is the argument which is the pure integer number in x. Int x is that integer argument which we supplied, which we supply as the parameter to this function. A is equal to x means whatever is the calling object's data member A is equal to x. That means x is that integer value which is going to be assigned to the data member of the calling object of this operator function. So A is equal to x, and after that I have written like before, return start this. So I am going to return the calling object from this operator function. After that I have just used the display function. I've defined the display function for displaying the value of the data member in this fashion. So let's go to the main section, which is the interesting part also. Example E1 bracket in parenthesis 2, E2 in parenthesis 4. So this is the creation of two objects, E1 supplied with an argument 2, E2 is another object being created supplied with an argument 4. So these two constructors, these two creation of objects invokes the constructor, the parameterized constructor, which has been defined above. So let's go to that part in order to show you once again. Example int b. So in the first case 2 is the argument, and that will be initialized to A. In the second creation of the object, 4 is the argument which will be initialized in this fashion, which is going to initialize the data member A of the object being created. So this is the parameterized constructor being invoked twice during the creation of the two objects E1 and E2 in the main section. So after that I've displayed the E1 object and the E2 object. So I've just displayed the value A, the data member A, the value of the data member A in E1 and the value of the data member A in E2 by the help of these two function calls, E1.display and E2.display. After that, that is the interesting part which is now going to be explained to you. That is E1 is equal to E2. What is this E1 is equal to E2? So this means that when the assignment operator, when the simple assignment operator is being placed between the two objects, one on the left hand side, that is E1, on the one on the right hand side, and the E2 object is placed on the right hand side. So this right hand side object is going to initialize the left hand side objects in a similar manner as we have done in the case of copy constructors. So this is similar in argument to the implementation of a copy constructor, where one object is being initialized by another object. So E2 is going to initialize E1 in this fashion. The simple operator, a simple assignment operator here is being used in between two objects of the class example, and you can think of the operator function being called in the background as the compiler sees it in this form. That is, we write like this, but it can be interpreted in this way. So as to make you clear, I have written this this comment section, that is E1 dot operator is equal to E2. So what is this? E1 is the calling object, dot operator, it invokes the operator is equal to function, and E2 is the object being supplied as an explicit argument, and E1 is passed on implicitly by the help of the concept of this pointer. So this function E1 is equal to E2 invokes the operator function above, that is the operator function written above, that is this one, and whatever is the value of E2, whatever is the value of data member A of E2 will be assigned to the data member or A of E1 by that function call. So E1 is equal to E2 invokes the first operator function and assigns the value of A of E2 to A of E1. So basically the function can be visualized as this one. So In the next line, we again, after this assignment operation has been done, after this operator function has been invoked, e1.display is being written again in order to show you the new value of e1, which should be expected as, in this case it should be expected as 2, in this case it should be expected as 4, in this case we will surely expect it to be 4 yet again, because that this one will be going to this value will be going to be this e2 will be going to be assigned to e1 by this statement. So e1.display will give us the output of 4. e1 is equal to 5. So this is also an interesting example. Here we have also applied the operator function, the second operator function. In this way I've supplied an integer argument here. So this e1 is equal to 5 is nothing but, you can consider it to be like this: e1 dot operator is equal to, within bracket it is 5. That is, within bracket the function call is, the actual argument is 5 because we have written 5 on the right hand side. So this x, this 5 will be copied to this formal argument x, and then whatever is the value of x, that is 5 over here, will be assigned to the data member of data member A of E1, and after that we return this pointer, the reference of the calling object. We return the reference of the calling object by this statement, return star this. So now we will expect this e1 dot display to give the output of 5. So let's see whether what we have explained and what we have expected, whether that comes from the output of the program. So let us get on with the build and run to see whether the expected output comes. See this? I will just drag it a little bit towards the right in order to show you everything, so that you can also show the code alongside the output window. So this is the thing which we get in the output, and this is quite exactly the same as what we have expected the output to be. That is, a is equal to 2, a is equal to 4, and after that we expected this a is equal to 4, and we got that. By this e1 dot display we expected a is equal to 4, we got that as well. And by this e1 dot display we expected a is equal to 5, and also we got that as well. So this is the concept of the operator overloading applied in case of the binary assignment operator. In fact, this operator overloading function has been also overloaded in terms of function overloading. So this is the concept of operator overloading of binary assignment operator in C++, and I hope it is clear to you after all this explanation. And if you have any doubts and queries pertaining to this entire example program which we have discussed in this video, you can well post your doubts and queries into the comment section below so that I can address them. Thanks for watching this video, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to DigiGuide. Thanks again.